All right, 2015 to 2019, you executive produced and wrote on Life in Pieces. This is another fresh approach to television comedy being served up in short bursts, revolving subplots around a central theme filled with, this is another one with like the jokes per page are insane. Um, Having worked so much in comedy, did you notice a difference in the pacing of this show, like in comparison to other comedy shows that you worked on?
This Life in Pieces was just the pacing was about the same. Like we knew we were doing but the problem with Life in Pieces was telling stories in little snippets, like 4 stories per episode was a whole new thing. And no one had really done it before. And we discovered there were huge advantages to it because you could be funny and you could the things you pitch that aren't big enough to be a story all of a sudden could be, which is huge. I mean, any writer's room, you'll see a million postcards or story cards up on the wall of thoughts and ideas that just never get made because they're not big enough to have 3 acts. So we got to make all those one little ideas into stories. But there's also a tremendous downside to it, and that when you don't tell one story for the whole half hour, you lose viewers. Like because there's nothing carrying you from one commercial break to the next. And we didn't really think about that until so it was a really hard thing to overcome. And I think at the end of the day, we never really fully overcame it. The show did really well, but it never became addictive television because you never had that cliffhanger before the commercial break where people stuck with it. The line to a TV show is always like this, at least good ones. They you build and build and build and build, and then it's over. Ours was always just flat. Like we started good and we ended good, but you didn't see any ups and downs. And we never built and we never got addictive level television, which is unfortunate because it was a great cast.
Definitely. One of the things I noticed about it real quick was the titles. We talked about the title. The titles were very interesting. So I had to ask who came up with that concept, and of course, how was that even pitched?
But that was Justin. That was his idea from the beginning to come up with a word for each story. I didn't like it, to be honest with you. I kept saying I wanted it to be just one word or something where people could remember it. The reference I always used was like Seinfeld. I'm like, remember the yada 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 episode? People can say the yada yada episode. They can say the soup Nazi episode. They can't say what these episodes are to their friends or whatever. It's just kind of a joke within a joke. But he loved it. It's his show. Like I said, just like the In-Betweeners. When it's your show, you can do whatever the hell you want.
I like the puzzle aspect of it because you kind of get like you could almost make a game out of guessing what it's going to be about and finding where those things came, where the keywords came from.
And we got to a point where we ran out of words because we never repeated words. So we would get to a story like third season, we're like, it's about the girl not wanting to go to sleep. We're like, okay, let's call it bed. No, we've used bed. Okay, let's call it sleep. No, we've used sleep. No, okay, let's call it animal. We've used animal. So, because we never that's where it gets so hard.
That's the trailer.